Don't run away. I know at first glance that this might look a little bit frightening, but I promise you it's really, really simple. And as a disclaimer, there are bound to be far, far more efficient ways of doing this. And I'm going to go on record as saying this is a stupid way of achieving what I've done, but I haven't spent a ton of time in Liquid yet, and this works. And some of the more elegant, far more elegant ways of achieving it, I didn't have time to look into. But this is very much a first draft at how you could create a UCAS style points calculator using just your Liquid template and just a form. And the use case is pretty simple. Basically, in fact, I'm on the wrong form here. Basically, what we want to be doing is we want to ask the students what their qualifications are. So tell us who's your exam board, what subject are you studying in, what grade did you get, and based on the grades that they input, I want to calculate using the kind of the same equivalent scores that UCAS give, how many points they effectively get. If the points are over a certain amount, then what we want to do is we want to encourage them to apply by sending them the link to the next form in the application, or maybe even sending an email to the next team who should start processing the application. If not, then we want to say, sorry, you haven't met the equivalent grades. And this counting, this calculation style work is not something that you can currently do in Gecko without Liquid. So it's a really exciting thing. Now, that's the theory behind it, and it's actually a very simple implementation, and a lot of this is iterative. Now, on the form, we have here qualification 1, qualification 2, 3, and 4, and we have a unique field, whoopsie, that's not what I wanted, a unique field called grade, crucially with a template tag of grade 1. And we have subsequent ones for the second grade field, it's called grade 2, for the third grade field, it's called grade 3, so on and so forth. Now back to our template. The very first thing we do is we create a variable in Liquid using the assign called UCAS total, and we make this an integer variable, and we make it exactly equal to 0. So at the minute this is empty, their current UCAS score is 0. Now when the template is sent, the first thing that we do is we create a case within Liquid, and there's more information on that below this. And we analyze what's in the response field of grade 1. And we basically check a couple of things within this case. We say, well, when the response grade 1 field is A star, then what we do is we call back the UCAS total. And what we do is we add 56 points to that total. So we change this from 0 to 56. But if that's not true, if it's not an A star, then we go to the next line and we check, is it an A? And if it is an A, then we add 48 points instead, and so on as we go through all of the different grades. Now, once we've done and we've analyzed that first grade, we do exactly the same for the second grade. But this time, if it was A star, we don't start with 0, of course. This will have been updated with the score from grade 1, so we add whatever they got for their second grade to whatever they got for their first grade, and so on. We do exactly the same for grade 3. We do exactly the same for grade 4 until we finally arrive at a UCAS total, which is representative of their grade total. Now, the very final piece of code is really simple, and it's what we've been doing since pretty much the first example here. We're checking if the UCAS total is greater than or equal to, and this is an arbitrary line in the sand I drew, of 135 points. We want to say, based on your points tally of this amount, we'd be delighted to invite you to continue your application. Else, so otherwise, thanks for your interest. Sadly, based on your points tally, you're not eligible to study with us. We wish you luck in the future. So again, a very basic implementation of this, but it's incredibly exciting that you can start to begin to do these sorts of things. And the mind kind of boggled our mind at our recent Gecko forum, where we saw the amazing work that you guys are doing to do things like these calculations within Gecko using tons of workflows, incredibly complex things. This hopefully simplifies things or gives you some extra tools, which should hopefully make that a lot easier to manage for you. So let's go through a quick example. We'll say it's A-level psychology. We'll say grade C for that. We'll say English. I'm going to have to give myself a bad grade for that because I couldn't even spell English, so we'll go for D. And finally, we'll round off with chemistry. And we'll maybe choose an A for chemistry. Okay, and here we go. We can see that email has come through. We can see based on your UCAS points tally of 160, we'd be delighted to invite you to complete your application. So it's correctly calculated that based on the scores that we gave, it was 160. 160 is more than 135 within our total variable, so all is good. Again, these are really basic examples. We're keeping them deliberately simple, particularly the message that we're printing to the student at the end, just so it's easier to understand and focus on the star of the show here, which is learning how to use the liquid code itself.